and welcome to our third and final wrap-up show here at the 2015 Glass Blown Open. Of course, this is our nightly podcast. In fact, I believe it's podcast number 30. And on my side here is Johnny V. I'm not going to tell you which side. I've got a good side and a bad side. Are you always on my bad side or my good side?
This is your bad side.
Is it?
It is. Because you always hold your phone up to the other ear.
No, you're
right. No, this is Terry's good ear.
Yes.
So you'll notice in almost any interview he does, he always stands on this side of a guest, and that's because Terry's deaf in one ear.
What's that?
Bingo.
Yeah, it only took you 25 years, and you do remember now
I know,
which ear.
I still get confused. I barely know my lefts from my rights, Terry.
That's true. You barely do. Well, welcome everyone. We know it's a little bit chaotic, probably a little bit loud. We're going to be. Well, it's fair to say we're always challenged with a little technology, no matter how much we prepare.
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah, or don't. This is another unique situation. This is our second
SmashBoxx first.
This is our second ever outdoor podcast. We did one 2 nights ago.
Yeah. So we should have it locked in.
Yeah, this is our first ever Block Party podcast.
For now, yep, it is.
This is the first podcast post ESPN Sports Center.
Yes.
Number 2,
and not the last.
3. I hope not.
No.
So, and this is our third Glass Blown Open podcast.
Yes. So lots of different numbers out there. And again, overall, our 30th podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. There's apparently some other sporting activities that were taking place today. Anybody know about those?
I think at 8 o'clock there was a punch-in match.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Two guys,
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I think he's fighting Soda Popinski tonight.
Yes, I think he is.
Or something.
Yes, that's a possibility.
And then there were some ponies running.
Oh, my gosh, like My Little Ponies.
Yes, rainbow ponies running and flying, I believe.
Wow. And probably there were some unicorns. So a very busy day in the sports world. Of course, the Kentucky Derby taking place, and the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight taking place literally as we speak. So,
well, my guess, and I'm not a big boxing person, coverage started at 8. I bet you the main event isn't until 9. They might do a match or two beforehand, but maybe not. Maybe now they're walking into the ring right now ready to beat each other senseless.
Well, there was some serious beatdowns on the course today. We witnessed 2 different fist fights that took place. That was the first at a national tour.
Seriously?
No.
Oh, I was like, wow, I didn't see that. What card was that on?
No, figuratively, of course, there were some great battles out there. We saw, obviously, on the leader card, Eagle McMahon didn't have quite the follow-up to the day that he had yesterday. Jay Felberg
it's really
was fighting.
tough for him.
It is. I mean,
he's 17. He's on the lead card with camera coverage against the best player in the world.
Yeah.
You can understand anybody having a mediocre day.
Yeah, and
it wasn't horrible.
No, he
couldn't keep up.
No, and that's tough to do. Dave Felberg had a little spoiler alert. Paul McBeth won. Thank you. We've got some. I'm not going to say creepy, but we've got some stickers coming in. Some Greater Rochester Disc Golf Club.
Yeah. I
appreciate it. So we've got some Gonzo stickers that have just come into the show. Go Gonzo for disc golf. Did I just make a new tagline for it,
Maybe. Oh, explain to me something.
Yes.
Why do we have these things on our mics?
Well, that's a great question. If you listened or tuned into the broadcast today, you would know that finally, after a number of days being here in Kansas, there was a little bit of Kansas wind, and so our friends over at the Dynamic Disc Store actually lent us a couple of their amazing cotton towels here, and they're hiding our microphones.
Helps block the wind. What you'll see, it's a lot like Terry's dead cat.
Cat, as they call it.
That he keeps on his microphone. That a lot of people want him to. A lot of people mention it that they want you to come to their house and dust for them.
Yes.
It's like the one joke that I get every podcast. Like, can Terry come to my house and dust for me?
Yeah. They're going to need to dust off some old jokes and come up with a new one then.
They really are.
You've just officially put them on blast that they need new jokes. And if there's any guy that comes up with the funniest of jokes, it's this guy.
That's my guy, am I right?
I feel like I was a little looser today out on the, I don't know if you were listening while you were switching the show. I was a little looser out there with a few of my comments today. Hopefully nobody wants to beat me up.
I don't, honestly, it's hard. A lot of times I don't listen to what you say.
Yeah.
Like now, usually. No, just as I've explained before, it's hard to listen. I listen for certain audio cues when I know when to key up commercials, but I don't always listen to your commentary. But I did notice what I thought was really unique, and there's two things we need to address, well, three technically, we need to address about the podcast today.
The podcast or the broadcast?
The broadcast, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Tuesday we'll talk about our podcast that we screw up today, okay?
Okay.
So let's wait.
One at a time.
First, why don't you talk about the quick Nico interview you had?
Yeah.
Because I know it's like beating a dead horse or a dead cat.
Or a dead cat, yep.
People talk about, and no one mentioned it today.
Oh, well, good. I'll put it to rest before anyone does question it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have expressed concern about if I'm too invasive during the competitor's play, and I'm always very, very careful to not intentionally do anything to distract or disrupt them in any capacity. I'm always very, very cognizant of that. I think that's the right, appropriate terminology, cognizant or conscientious of it.
Do me a favor once. Say it. What's it called? What's the word when you see it from the side of your head?
Peripheral.
Say it again.
Peripheral. Why, did I not say it today?
All right, I want a judgment. Did he say it correctly?
Peripheral.
Peripheral.
Oh, peripheral.
Hey, you said it yesterday.
Oh, did I say it incorrectly yesterday?
Oh, yeah, just like that. Yeah, you.
Peripheral.
Peripheral.
Say it again.
I believe it's peripheral. Peripheral.
I'm not going to say it anymore then because I can't say that word.
Yes, peripheral.
Yeah, we're going to skip that word forever then.
That was a discussion.
That's fair.
On the broadcast, I forgot to mention that on the broadcast yesterday, people were. Mr. Risley was making fun of you quite a bit, AJ.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, you say peripheral. It's peripheral.
Peripheral.
There you go. You said
I don't like that.
Well, anyway, let's go on. The Nico interview.
Nico, so let's get to it. Nico, I had made a mention of the wind being challenging today and something along those lines.
Yep.
And Nico turned around after hole 15,
I believe.
He turned around after he threw a less than stellar drive.
He threw it into the ground.
And then he threw a less than stellar approach. He turned around and said, Terry, let's talk about this. He's like, I'd like to talk about this. Let's talk about, he said, it's mentally challenging, it's physically challenging. He said, let's talk about it. I said, all right, let's talk about it.
I don't want to mess up Drew's hair. I can mess up Dana's, but
so,
Drew's is too nice.
That was not initiated by us. We'll have these guys say hi.
Speaking of two people who didn't get trophies.
Good-looking fellas.
They are damn good-looking fellas.
Dana Vicich, and Drew. I need a good nickname for you.
I heard they call him Droosh.
Droosh. You have your followers are Drooshers.
I don't call them.
I thought they were droolers. We switched.
Droolers, yeah, that's right. I did call them droolers. All right, here I'm going to move the microphone so Drew can talk into it.
Is this Drew's first time on our podcast?
Officially? Say hi to the world.
Hi, world.
What do you have to say to all your fans?
I don't know. Hi. I did really good today.
Did you? What did you shoot today?
62.
Is that good? Honestly, I don't know the scores.
McBeth only beat me by 9, so that's good.
Okay, that's not bad.
9 on the front 9 or 9 overall?
Both.
Is he good?
I heard something like that, yeah.
So you're suggesting we should have him on the show at some point?
Yes.
Oh, we've got more guests.
Oh, no, we don't.
Oh, no, we don't.
No. They'll stop back.
Oh, they're coming back.
Yeah, they are.
So Dana, real quick, seeing as though you are our event updater, update us quick. What happened today?
Well, McBeast, Paul McBeth went McBeast mode, and he won. He threw pretty good. It got pretty windy out there, and
It did.
I think he's the only person that got under 54, shot a 53, and no one cut. I don't think anyone touched it.
That makes sense. Eagle McMahon said that he did not keep up with him.
Yeah.
I think that would be an understatement.
Yeah.
And he said that Paul, he thinks, had the hot round again. Championship day, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday, or championship day could be on a Wednesday morning. And Paul McBeth, apparently he's going to take care of business. TCB, as some of them say.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yes.
He's really good.
Okay, really good.
Okay, so we know Paul dominated in Open today.
Yeah.
How about women?
There's another domination going on there. Paige Pierce.
Would you call Paige a dominatrix?
I was just about to say I would
Wow.
call her that.
Okay.
But yeah, Paige Pierce threw a 1,000 rated round. Her second of the event. I think her other round was upper 990, so she averaged 1,000 for the event.
Jeez.
And she won by double digits, I believe.
Would she have beat you?
Or did she beat you? Not would she have. Did she?
Did she? I mean, I don't know, honestly.
I think she might have got me by a couple.
Dozen. Couple strokes.
No, I came back today, Smashies.
Nice. He was sick yesterday. He just had to get the sickness out or something.
Yeah, I came back. I still didn't putt well, but I threw like a genius. Putted for birdie on 14 holes.
Wow.
I won't tell you how many I converted on, but I did shoot a 58, which
Did that put you in the cash?
I snuck into the cash.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Dana.
Thank you.
Step inside the cash box. That's what
right.
our boy.
That's a new one.
I used it last night, but it's still clever.
It's good.
Nice job, Dana.
Thank you.
We're proud of you, buddy.
Hey, it wasn't
Paige
my
still
be-
beat you though.
I think so. But that's
fine.
okay. She's
Yeah.
really good at disc
She's
golf.
good at disc golf.
She
good.
is. I say it countless times. She's better than most men, and by most I mean like 99% of the
Yeah.
men on the planet.
Yeah.
She's better
Yeah.
than 99%.
And probably
of the
better
men.
than 90% of the men on tour.
Hardcore tour.
Like not
maybe
hardcore
not,
tour
but
because that's the traveling
generally
pros,
touring.
but like at the touring stops probably. But
Right now, Paige, if she played in the men's division, she'd be, week in and week out, she'd be fighting for cash, and most likely cashing.
that's pretty amazing. All right, then real quick, why don't you tell us what happened in the Masters division?
The Masters division, Patrick Brown, he went pretty low and took down the champ, Ken Climo.
He did.
And I'm not quite sure who ended up in third place, but it was a two-horse race between those guys, and Patrick won pretty handily over Climo.
Yeah, I thought I saw he beat Climo by like 7 or 8 strokes.
Well, I had talked about it during the broadcast. Again, you don't listen.
Yeah.
But Climo had a lead going into it today by 1, and he had thrown a shot on 16 when I caught up with him. And he's like, and he was telling me he likes to, like Avery Jenkins, he uses his hands a lot when he talks, and he was emotionally telling me how just a few inches on one of the holes prevented him from staying in bounds. That ended up costing him a 5 instead of possibly a birdie 2. And then he said that another hole, he was literally just inches from being in bounds, cost him another 2 strokes. He's like, there goes 5. He's like, that's 5 strokes in 2 holes.
So it was a lot
by inches.
closer than it may have looked. But everyone has those stories. But
Absolutely.
it sounds like it still was a close battle, even though he lost by a few.
The hole where Paul Ulibarri's disc got up and rolled.
Yeah.
It was that very hole where Climo came in. He's like, it was going to come in. It was going to be parked. It was going to be underneath the basket, and it hit the section between the
Basket?
No, I'm sorry, the sidewalk or the cart path and the grass. He's like, it hit. So instead of getting a skip right underneath the pin, it hit the cart path and stopped right there.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, there. Patrick Brown just passed behind us with
TV and Stevie.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm man in the St. Jude booth. I just wanted to come say hi to you guys.
All right, real quick, St. Jude, give a quick plug. If where can people find you at St. Jude Disc Golf?
StJudeDiscGolf.com. We have some special discs that we're selling. Prodigy has team stamps.
Push them and plug them.
First time for sale to the general public ever. And then there's also some Innova stamp discs here that if there's any left over, I imagine they'll be sold somewhere. So keep an eye out for that. You can message me and I might be able to help you out. But with these. So thanks, guys. Congratulations on the good week. Sports Center Top 10. Smashies. Love y'all.
All
See
right.
you next time.
Thanks, Dana. We'll see you Tuesday night, probably.
All right. So let's cut right back to it. We were in the middle. Nico reached out to you. He said, "Hey, let's talk."
Yeah. So Nico, in a joking fashion, reached out to me. I said something about, it's been challenging out here today, and he turned around and he just laughed. He's like, let's talk about this, Terry. It's been challenging. It's been mentally challenging, and I chuckled. He said it's been physically challenged, and I chuckled. And then he walked over to me and said, and then we kind of had an interview from there. He wanted to let a few things off his chest. He knew he was playing in front of not just the gallery that was out there, but of course in front of all of our Smashbox viewers. So I did not approach Nico. I did not try to engage him in an interview mid-hole, so to speak, and that was definitely all brought upon by him. So again, Nico LaCastro. So obviously good blood. Nico knows me. I've known him for a number of years. And more often than not, when these players do want to talk or they're engaging like that, they're coming up to me. I'm not interrupting them during their round. They're simply coming up to me. So that's exactly what happened today. So for any of you people questioning as we're getting video bombed.
Yeah. Oh, video bomb.
Video bombed. I'm guessing we could have her stop in now.
Should we have her swing in?
Official? Is it time?
Yeah.
Where's your trophy?
He didn't text me yet, but...
Oh, I can text you later and then you can come back.
All right, I'll come back.
Get your trophy.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, yeah, you got to bring it and show everybody. Okay, we just have to bring it when you visit.
Yeah, later.
Whenever you come back. All right.
You girls go do your thing and come back whenever you want. Bring us some food.
Yeah, so Paige Pierce is going to step inside the Smashbox, and we want to show off her beautiful trophy that she took in, and we'll see if we can have her on in a little while. So let's see who else we have hanging out on the board. Lots of different people. Sorry if there's any kind of lag out there.
Yeah.
I think Johnny B, did you probably tell them?
Yeah, we're kind of leeching off Wi-Fi from the DD store. We're outside of the store, so the signal is it could be spotty on occasion, especially depending on how many other people are using this Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
All the DD people that are here probably have this connection. They are watching, I believe, the broadcast is inside again, so we're fighting a little bit with some bandwidth. But I did say we're recording it locally. If I go back tomorrow and take a look and it's really bad, I'll just upload a new version. Steve Rico.
Steve Rico. I think he just said he was going to go get me a beverage like he's got in his hand. I'd take one of those beverages and then maybe we'll have you on the show. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. All right, well, we're going to let Johnny V step out for just a second.
Yeah,
we're going to bring in our cameraman for the week, actually.
Yeah, we're going to bring in the cameraman so he can talk about his stuff.
Yes, we are. 1 second. Yes, Steven. Well, of course we're live, little spoon. Yes, we are. Look it. There's people sitting here watching. All these people taking it all in. We're talking about the poor signal, what's happening, so on and so forth. We are all live. And right now, well, you go grab us a beverage. No, this guy. Oh. All right. We're not going to talk about legalities here. Welcoming to the show our phenomenal cameraman this week. He's been just such a huge asset for us to have here on SmashBoxxTV. This is Jason Youngblood. Jason, nice and loud and clear right into there, buddy. You're an audio, video, technical, colorist, guy. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Great, thank you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you so much for, first of all, joining our crew for the week. And second of all, thank you for not snoring last night.
You still snore.
I did still snore.
And Johnny V.
Yeah, Johnny V is a very lightweight snorer. Again, we see so many different people chiming in here. And let's talk a little bit about it. You're a very accomplished video and photo guy. You do all sorts of things, editing, video, photo, colorist, again, a new word I learned this week. Tell everybody what you do, or some of the cool things you've done in the past.
I used to do a lot more photography, and then I ventured into the video world a few years ago, and just haven't really looked back since. And I still do a little bit of photography every now and then, but mostly for myself, or if I'm not shooting video for something. And so I direct, I shoot, I edit, I color. Sometimes I'm a one-man band, sometimes I have some help. This week was great because I got to keep part of an awesome team, Smashbox. I've been watching the coverage. You and I have known each other for a long time.
Yes.
I used to live in Wisconsin and played in the Fox Valley.
Fox Valley Disc Golf Club,
Valley
and
Disc Golf
everyone
Club.
up in the Appleton, Wisconsin area.
Got to see Scott Reek here. Hadn't seen him since I moved away, so that was great. Wisconsin connection. But yeah, it was really exciting. You asked me to come down and run the camera for the week.
Yes.
It was a lot of pressure since we only had one camera. Didn't get the two camera setup, but obviously it paid off.
Yes, it did.
Filming the second card yesterday was definitely a career highlight. I wouldn't have ever imagined that we'd have something on Sports Center Top 10 coming in at number 2 and number 3.
Yes, it did. No, it was truly awesome. Obviously, Smashbox is really proud of what we've done, but you were right in the right position. You know, we were doing the live coverage, obviously, for the broadcast, but then for you to perfectly follow the disc, nice and steady, nice and smooth. Were you at all worried? The second it went in, were you at all worried about that particular flight pattern? Because I know when I think I've got a great shot, I immediately start to get nervous, like, oh my gosh, how well did I do? Did I follow that well? Were you worried?
No.
Okay, good. You saw it the whole way and you just had it.
I'd also like to thank Steve Rico for this awesome Legacy hat.
Yes.
I've been throwing a lot of Legacy lately, and I know they, of course, support SmashBox,
Yes,
which
they
is
have.
great. They support me because they make frisbees that I throw, which is the best. But no, I wasn't really nervous. I just it was a long week because one camera had to be on point all the time. Didn't know exactly when we were live and when we weren't sometimes, and but yeah, just being there and being on point was, and we got it. And
so you say it's a career and personal highlight that you were on, your video work was on SportsCenter Top 10. Tell everyone at home some of the other notable people that you have actually done photo or video for, because to me it's pretty impressive. I feel like you were slumming it with us this week.
Maybe just a little bit, but I'm disc golf rich now. So.
Yes, you are. Hashtag disc golf rich, according to Dana.
Yeah. Some of the other highlights, I shot a Prince show. It was the last show at South by 3 years ago, and it was at this very small venue, and there were only 2 of us that got credentials to shoot that, and that was, of course, for Samsung.
Okay.
And that show was amazing, and just 8 encores, 23-piece band. I was rubbing elbows with Jim James on the side stage, so that was pretty cool. And I shot a lot of music, different things. I also
Did you
worked
do a shoot
on,
with Sir Mix-a-Lot, you said once?
Yeah, I shot Sir
Come on,
Mix-a-Lot.
man, you gotta mention that.
This year
I would
South
lead
by,
with
he
that.
killed it. I
course
had
he
never
did.
seen him, ever live, and I was really impressed with the show he put on. Really got the crowd going, and it was phenomenal. You can, if you want to check out any of my work, you can just find me at Youngblood Productions on Facebook or Vimeo, or look me up on there. But
yeah, Youngblood Productions, just as it sounds, Youngblood Productions.
the other big thing for me is, my 3 main passions are filming, disc golf, and craft beer, and so this was great combining 2 of those this week. One of my regular clients is the Beer Diaries. We make a show about craft beer. Season 1 is all about Austin. Season 2 is all about Colorado, and we're looking at a season 3 to go up to the Portland and Bend area, potentially this fall. But,
sounds like a common mix we've seen before, craft beers, along with disc golf, obviously Nate Doss, and so many others. Whole 5 guy back in Wisconsin, we know is a big craft beer fan, and obviously there's thousands of golfers. Avery Jenkins also very passionate about it. So
I was really excited. My inner fanboy came out this week because I've seen a lot of these guys on SmashBox, but haven't met a lot of them in person. So I got to rub elbows with some of these guys, and I got to talk beer with Nate Doss for a while, and this is an awesome sport because the professionals are just, they're right there, and they're willing to talk to you and take the time, and they're just regular people, and like everyone else, they just throw frisbees better than we do.
yes, there's a reason you and I are behind the cameras and not out here throwing them.
Right.
Although you throw them well too, but they throw them really well.
That's true.
Right.
I am going pro this year, so I may not be behind the camera next year. We'll see.
Watch out. No, we need you behind the camera, buddy. You're too good at it. How could you ever move out from behind the camera now that you got a sports? You were SportsCenter Top 10 number 2 or 3, arguably.
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
You need that number 1 spot. I think Nelly once sang that. He was going for that number 1 spot. And I think, I don't know, we talked to McBeth a little earlier today. He had an idea or 2, but I think you'd love to be behind the camera for a number 1 spot.
I would like that. And I do love filming disc golf. I'm also working on a documentary about disc golf, and really telling the story about the disc, which I still need to interview you for. You're going to be on there.
Okay.
But that's a long ways out. It's still another 1.5 or 2 years before anyone will see it, probably.
Okay. Well, we know you're working hard. Well, we again want to thank you. Hopefully anyone that is looking to work with you in any capacity, they can reach out to you at Youngblood Productions. Find them on Facebook or on Vimeo, as you said. And it's been a real pleasure and an honor. And, anytime that you're available, we'd love to have you again behind the camera, buddy.
Thanks, Harry.
Thank you. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Jason Youngblood, again, responsible for the camera work for you to see that SportsCenter Top 10 highlight clip yesterday that aired, or yesterday and into today. I'm not going to lie, it's one of the most gratifying and satisfying feelings I've ever had in my life, to know that something I was a part of was able to be seen by literally millions of people. I believe I read that there's 94 million people that either subscribe to or subscribe to in the sense of cable, watch SportsCenter, or ESPN. So it had a pretty serious outreach. And on a day like today, where there was so much coverage for the Kentucky Derby rolling in and the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, we know that we got plenty of exposure by that ace being hit. And congratulations again to Billy Engel. We're going to work with our friends over here at Dynamic Disc, possibly have a commemorative disc of sorts, and then maybe kind of tie that in with some kind of a SmashBoxxTV fundraiser effort so that we can invest back into more equipment. So there's a couple different angles and avenues with that, and that was all made part because of Billy and his phenomenal shot. I'm just waiting here as Paige Pierce is working on signing autographs. Of course, that is customary when you're a top pro and a multiple-time world champion, as Paige is. And AJ Risley talking about Ludacris is coming for that number one spot. Maybe it was Nelly that says he is number one. I am number one. I don't know. Yeah, see, I told people they might roll away. I said that myself. All right, we're not going to keep her too long because we know she's a very popular person, but not too cool for SmashBoxxTV. We got your back. All right. First of all, hold this trophy up for the camera. There you go. And let's see if we can get. Johnny V is double checking, make sure that our video is all good. The streamer, he had said, did you see that error or no, Johnny? It says something about a streamer stopped working. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, so Paige Pierce has joined our show. Paige, you're gonna have to talk nice and loud right into there.
Yes. Hello.
That's loud. How does it feel?
It feels awesome.
Yeah? Does it feel that much better knowing you've won the tournament, and rather than getting on the road or just running off to the next tournament, here we are at this amazing block party? How does that feel?
It really does, and it's awesome that this tournament ends on a Saturday.
Yeah.
At first I was kind of like, oh, I wish we had one more day of practice. I wish it started on Friday. But it's awesome that it ends on Saturday. You know, tomorrow's just kind of a travel day unless you're playing doubles. So this is cool to like end the weekend with a block party, close the street down, and this town is just so supportive of the tournament, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. And I got to admit, I feel a little torn. I want to get out there. I like to have a good time. You might have seen some of that. I enjoy having a good time, and I want to get out there to this good time. But yeah, here we are. We got to do a little bit of work first, so that's all right. What was your experience like this weekend? I mean, you won handedly. Maybe let me clarify that or simplify it a little bit. How about your final round today? You had a lead going into it, but then you won by a lot. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I had 5 strokes to go into it, so I've been up quite a few times with that big of a lead and gave it away. So even at that point, I did not feel confident. Starting the round. Okay. I told myself if after hole 11 I had more than 4 strokes, I would feel at least not as nervous. I wouldn't feel like I won still, but
sure.
After hole 11, I was up, I believe, 9 strokes. So,
how can you even keep count at that point?
Yeah, so at that point...
Okay. So you were up by quite a few at what hole, did you say?
After hole 11.
After hole 11. Uh-oh. You've been looking for him all week, haven't you? Didn't you offer out like a
ransom? This
ransom
is my
to
dad,
find your
Barry Wayne Pierce.
Hello. You're live. Everybody is watching our block party on our podcast. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you all doing?
We're doing well. How'd this week go for you?
It went well. I'm here for my daughter. She's my inspiration. She keeps me going.
And she does pretty good at throwing the frisbees around.
Yeah. 420, 500. Yeah, I can't do it, man. I'm old. And I wish I could, but it's fun to watch. And graced by God's love to have a daughter like her.
I just want to thank SmashBoxx because usually he's the one watching, but one time he's here, so
Yes.
he can watch.
Well, awesome. Well, we're glad. We've had a lot of fun. We've covered so many different cards live in terms of the men and the women, and we love to spread out the love. And of course, on our podcast, we're able to interact with just about everybody. What's the plan? Give us your real short your game plan from here. Where are you headed to, say, come Monday?
Tomorrow, we're actually hitting the road tomorrow, and I'll head to Daisy Chains, which is in Watsonville, California.
Okay.
And I'll actually be right there for 3.5 weeks. We play Daisy Chains in Watsonville, and then we play the weekend after is the Masters Cup, which is our next national tour. And that's in Santa Cruz, which is only 20 minutes down the road.
Okay.
And then the weekend after that is the St. Jude Invitational, which is only 30 to 40 minutes down the road as well. So we'll spend like a month in California. So.
California bound.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you go. We know again you're a popular lady out there, and everybody wants to get their disc signed and have everything else. Hopefully, I'll find myself a refreshment and track you and the rest of the crew down in a little while after we've wrapped up the podcast. But it's been an amazing week. Congratulations again. How many is this for you?
Glass balls?
Yeah.
This is my second glass ball.
Second,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, that's your second, and I have a feeling there might be more in store for you. So again, thanks for joining us on the show, and congratulations,
Thank
Paige.
you.
All right, thanks. See ya. And there she goes with her trophy in hand.
That's okay. Thanks, Paige.
Everybody wants pictures and/or autographs from Paige, and people are, of course, people want to linger around a little bit because they're looking to get their SmashBoxx love in here by hanging out.
Yeah, there's a lot of Yahoos behind us.
Yes, and I'm not talking about
Yahoo Serious
or Yahoo the search engine.
No, there's a Yahoo in there. So what I did is they had some Major League Baseball stuff streaming, so I just went and stopped it.
Oh.
Which might have been some of our issue. I don't think it's going to completely fix it, but it'll be better. And here's what I've come to realize. I really wanted to cover the putting contest.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Are they doing it right now?
Well, they're doing like a big ring of fire right now.
Okay.
And
which I'd really like to be watching, but I can't.
You'll be able to see it after.
I'd like to record it myself, but here we are. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up for another world champ.
Get out of here.
All right, here, I'll let someone else sit down.
Yeah, yes, you will. Yep. All right, and we're adjusting here. We've gone from a 2-time women's world champ to a 3-time men's champ. He's going to have to talk right into here to our microphone. Joining the show, yes, please do. Joining the show is Paul McBeth. Paul, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm feeling good, enjoying this block party and checking out everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We just got done talking to Paige. I know you're busy, so we're going to keep it short, but talk a little bit about how you separated yourself from the field out there today for anyone that didn't get to hear from you earlier.
Mostly off the tee today. I was able to keep it in between the lines, out of the water. I threw one OB, and I happened to lose that disc, but I was able to throw my drives really well, and it made for easy up shots, which kind of propelled me to the win.
Of these 3 courses, I'd say slightly longer than normal, at least Municipal and Country Club, and then we played Jones yesterday, you did. Of the 3 courses, which was your favorite?
I like actually Municipal. I enjoy playing that one just because it was a longer par 3, so it was more challenging par 3s. But Country Club's hard to beat. Just to finish there, and the first hole and the 18th hole pretty much make that course.
Absolutely.
So it's really hard to choose.
Now, this being my first time here at the Glass Blown, I saw obviously all 3 courses for the first time. Would you say Country Club was set up? Is it exactly set up the way you've seen it last year or other years?
No, Country Club it's switched around actually, and same with Municipal since the last time I saw that. Both of those, and I talked to Eric actually, and he said they switched the holes because they are actually now permanent courses.
Okay, yep.
So they have to flow with the golf holes that are there. So they kind of changed some of the holes and changed the directions of holes. So it's for the better because nowadays they both are permanent courses.
Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. We talked about it the other night. Eric McCabe had mentioned that the Country Club is he believes the only disc golf course in the country that is at a members-only golf course, as in a members-only golf or country club. where there's disc golf. He said that's what it is. And I know you're usually a pretty stylish guy. How many members-only jackets do you have? Do you wear any of those? Have you ever seen any? That might be I might be dating myself a little bit.
Yeah, you're a little over my head.
All right, well, let's just say members-only coats aren't exactly the most stylish coats, but okay. Reference, some people out there will get that. You've had a pretty busy weekend. I know you're doing a lot of other things, but you're not playing every single weekend. What are the other things you're doing this year?
Well, now it's actually, the tour has really started. I think I got a tournament every weekend up until Europe. Then I think I get a weekend off. And then I'll be at Am World, so that'll definitely take a week or two off. But yeah, it's pretty much a tournament every weekend. And if I'm not playing a tournament, I'm either running a challenge with Nate and Kyle, doing a McBeth challenge, or I'm at home in Oklahoma, or next week California.
All right, just give me a quick overview on what exactly a McBeth challenge is. I see you running them and having great turnouts. What exactly is a McBeth challenge?
Yeah, it's a 3-disc challenge where we just set up at any local course and try to get we're aiming really for newer players. Usually we have at least 50-something in the rec division, so it's a lot of new players because the players pack is $35 to sign up. They get 2 discs, they get their choice of a Thunderbird or a Crate, both champion, and everyone that signs up gets a Rock 3.
Okay.
So everyone that shows up instantly has 2 discs to play with.
Nice.
And those 2 discs they receive, they have to play the 18 holes with, and they get to use any putter of their choice. And we give out medals to the top 3 finishers in each division, and I don't think we've actually had a pro division this year out of the 5 that we've ran. So it's really amateur based, and it's a good starting tournament.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask is, are you going out and playing this round when they're doing it, or are you just organizing it all?
Nate and I do play once in a while if there's like a junior card, or if there's like an odd number, if there's just a twosome or an extra person. And at the end of it, after their 18 holes, we give them a little break for lunch, and then we do a clinic.
Okay.
And Nate Sexton's probably one of the best disc golf instructors I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is. He really knows what he's talking about. I saw you earlier at the Nick Hyde this year, and you, Nate, and Steve Brinster were really breaking it down for people, and it was awesome to see. One of the questions that came out on the board, I know we don't ask a lot of them usually, but the one question I'll ask you off the board here was, do you fan grip or power grip your Rock 3s or your mid-ranges?
I power grip pretty much every shot.
Okay.
The only thing I don't power grip is my putters, and I have like a little modified power grip for like fairway drivers and mid-ranges, but it's nowhere near a fan grip.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to share for everybody out there that tuned in this week? SmashBoxxTV covered you, of course, the first day, and then we were on Chase Card the next 2 days. But anything you need to share with all the smashies out there, as we call them?
Yeah, just thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hopefully there's more exciting tournaments throughout the year, and I want to say I'll see my family next week out in California, and thank you to all the supporters of SmashBoxx and of disc golf in general.
Awesome. All right, Paul McBeth, we're going to let you go, buddy. Again, congrats. And your first Glass Blown Open trophy. This is Paige's, but I know you got one as well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Paul. All right, everyone, of course, that was our 3-time world champion, Paul McBeth. And
all right, I'm going to step in just for a quick second, and then I think we're going to close the show pretty quick.
Okay, because of the lagging?
No, not because of the lagging, just because it's time.
Oh, it's time.
It's pretty. I mean,
I'm good with that. We had Paul, our champion.
We're good.
Oh, and Paul also has just
St. Jude.
the St. Jude pin, so everyone knows that they need to support the St. Jude fundraising effort. Paul, no surprise, Paul being the #1 St. Jude fundraiser right now.
Yeah. He should have a diamond encrusted gold pin. We're gonna get Jeremy Rusco in here to talk real quick.
Okay, absolutely.
And then when Rusco's done, I'll come back. We'll close the show, say thank you to everybody we need to say thank you to, and then we'll call it a weekend. And you know what?
I'm still waiting on a beverage.
You and I will go get a beverage and enjoy ourselves. All
right?
right. So Phil time. Yep.
Yes. Thanks for the lent DD towel so that we have a nice windscreen. You know,
all right.
One thing we learned this week is you guys actually do have wind. It wasn't here the first couple days, but here we are.
We're here.
Yes, we are.
Glass blown.
Welcome to the show, of course, Dynamic Disc owner and visionary, Jeremy Rusco. Jeremy, I gotta say, besides being exhausted, I know I am, I'm sure you are, along with your unbelievably deep staff that you have. We're almost there. We're just a few hours away from this week wrapping up. What are you thinking?
I tell you what, it's been a great week. It's been a long week. It takes a lot out of everybody, the staff, players,
wives,
yes, who's working tonight. Gosh dang it, she just can't get off. It's been an exciting week. I think this is a true celebration of the sport. When you see thousands of people downtown, and the reason being a disc golf event, that's a pretty cool deal that I know the players appreciate, and our community really loves having the disc golf event down.
And now, again, you've invited and showed up more than 900 people, 300 people on a waiting list. Some people said it during the awards. Is there any way you can make this bigger or better? And is that two separate questions? One is bigger, one is better. Can you do either?
Well, we can no doubt. Sure, this event went over great. It was a great event, but there were plenty of things that we missed out on. When you go from 500 players to 900 players, some things are going to happen. No tournament goes without some minor problems. We got a great staff, and we are going to make this event that much better next year. And our Monday recap is going to be very extensive and very long, and it's going to be a lot of notes. And we've already, everything that comes up gets noted. And in terms of bigger, well, that really just comes down to the number of courses that we have. We filled out some grant paperwork, and we're hoping to be able to get one more course here locally in town. And then we are hoping to be able to use Olpe, a course out of Olpe Lake.
It's all right. It's been a long week, buddy.
Yeah, so we're hoping to be able to use two more courses next year, assuming that we feel like this was a quality event once we run everything down.
And speaking of large and quality events, I know every year I speak with Jonathan Poole from the USDGC. He always talks about the first thing they do is they open up that notepad and they start making a list of all the things. You may be closing 2015's event tonight, so to speak, but you're already starting really 2016's event, and that's pretty impressive. Now I know that you guys have talked about putting in a bid, or you have officially submitted a bid. Is that for the Pro Worlds in 2016? Is that the plan that you're hoping for?
Yes, that's what we put our bid in for, was the 2016 Professional World Championships.
Okay.
And that's all I know. I don't know.
That's all you know. Okay. Well, I know the deadline was recently, and I know that they are, they definitely need to consider all the different factors, and I'm not sure if there were too many entries. Pro Worlds is just such a huge undertaking. You ran Am Worlds a couple years ago, and yet you're crazy enough to say, oh yeah, let's do another Worlds? Right.
I'm not rethinking on Monday, maybe.
Yeah, you might.
Too late now. No turning back, I think, at this point.
So I got asked earlier as to what I think is so special about this event, and one of my comments about you and your staff was that they get asked a lot of questions, and some are really petty and some are really stupid questions. I know, because I run tournaments, I know that they are. But yet everybody helps you, and they either say, go check the app, which makes perfect sense, or they help you with a smile on their face. What are you putting in the water here? I heard it's good water, but how do you get so many people so enthusiastic to have that customer service with a smile and to be so happy to help some of these people? Are you driving that bus? Is that you?
Well, I don't know. It truly, we have a super dedicated staff that is just motivated and passionate towards everything that they do. And, this is a special week for us, and they love seeing so many people in town. And, I know that we can keep it going, and we definitely look forward to bigger and better things here in the near future. All
right. Well, final subject that we'll broach before we both get to it, being the block party. Coverage this weekend, you guys had, I'll just speak to the live coverage, you had a lot of recorded coverage as well, but coverage this weekend, Dynamic Disc was getting things together for a leader card, and then you had us on the chase card. What are some of your overall thoughts now that here we are on the final night? Anything to say on that?
I didn't get to watch hardly anything with the way that the week went. I think this was a special event, seeing that the coverage of Billy Ingles' ace, the top two play on SportsCenter. That's a special deal for the sport, and yes. I think that really the more media that we have involved with disc golf, the more we're going to continue to grow, and the more people are going to be excited about disc golf. And it's what we have to have. And we've got to support you, and we've got to support whoever is going to be able to come to the events, so that the great things can happen. I think the two broadcasts went well together. I know we had a couple difficulties out out south of town, not as good a coverage, but I think we can build on this and really make the event coverage that much better next year.
Yeah, and Johnny V and I have about a 10-hour drive home, and although we talk like two little schoolgirls that have been friends for 25 years, we will do just that. We'll open up our my computer and we'll just start making notes too. We know that there's ways that we can improve. Sometimes it's technology, sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's equipment, but we always know that there's ways that we can improve, and we're really excited to be here. We're only a little more than a year old, in terms of live broadcasting, and we're just so happy that we could be here.
And doing a fabulous job.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. We hope that everyone's enjoyed the nightly shows. I know you guys were also doing GBO tonight, and I think we're going to see more of that. Lots of people tuning in to check out what's going on after the day's action too.
Yeah. Well, thank you. People are having a great time tonight. This is so cool. If you're watching and not here, you're totally missing out. Terry, your crew, outstanding job. It is so. When we were going to be doing the broadcast, I was worried that maybe it wasn't going to be able to work out, and it's just. I think this is a really special deal for disc golf media, and I wish you guys the best, and I look forward to working with you guys more and more and more as this sport keeps growing, as this event keeps growing, and the other events that are going to be covered across the world.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us at the Memorial when we put that broadcast on, and thank you for bringing us down here for your coverage. And we certainly welcome Dynamic Disc and the rest of the Trilogy crew to be part of our broadcasting as best we can. Yeah, isn't that, it's crazy, it's backwards. Yeah, oh, there you go. I was going to say, it's not quite the same. We kind of reverse things. It's all our camera trickery. Yes. All right, everyone, that's Jeremy Rusco, your TD, and the man here at DD, and we appreciate everything, pal. All right, take care. All right, have a good night. All right, so as we said, Jeremy Rusco, Johnny V said we're going to wrap things up. I'm okay with that. I know we like to go on and on. Mike Durko talking about a world's calendar. Never will I support a calendar idea simply because they don't make sense.
Are you doing the calendar now?
Yes.
I just stepped in. That's what I heard.
I know. Durko thinks we're going to do a calendar. Hopefully people don't experience too much of the freezing. Nonetheless, we're going to get to it.
Yeah, if it happens, I'll go back and spot check this. Actually, I'll probably more than spot check it. I'll watch the whole thing. If it's really bad, I'll re-upload it. And it's always out as an audio podcast. So that's a big thing of tasty freeze.
Big slushy.
It's a big slushy right there. So what we'll probably do is, if it's really bad, we'll re-upload it. So no big deal. It's really cool to be here doing it from this position. And I know we're going to probably cut tonight's a little shorter than we normally do.
Yep.
But I want to talk about one thing real quick, and I don't know if you've talked about it with anybody else yet. I'm sure maybe you have. Let's talk about our Sports Center clip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was one.
We did that yesterday.
That was us.
Yesterday. That was us. High five!
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yesterday during the podcast, we weren't sure if it was going to make it on.
No,
there was like we had our ESPN contact tell us there was like a 90% chance it was going to be on.
A good chance that it would be.
And then we rushed afterwards. We got something to eat real quick. Yep. We met some friends at a local establishment.
Yep.
Dana, DG Mike, Paul Ullman.
Yep.
And then we waited and waited. It felt like it was about 20 minutes, and it honestly felt about 2 hours to me.
Yeah, it was.
So how couple things. One, do you think this particularly is a big step for disc golf?
Yeah, I think, Paul McBeth and others have said it throughout the day. Rusco just said it as well. Putting disc golf on the map, sometimes it's going to start, we talk about where we're going to get a big break, and Sports Center isn't necessarily like tomorrow. The multi-billion-dollar sponsors aren't necessarily going to call us up and say, oh, we just saw you on Sports Center, we want to get on board.
Sure.
However, it does, I don't want to just say it makes us a little bit more legitimate, but it does so many things. It clearly excites the world and the disc golf community, and it shows people out there that, wow, there's this other professional sport going on, and just for it to be out there,
Okay.
For it to be on cable, for it to be on the internet and do all the things that we do. We obviously all rally behind it and are really excited about it. SportsCenter is just such an icon. It's such
It's an establishment.
It's it really is. Everything that's behind it. We had a really good friend in Mike Schwieger reach out to us. He said he literally was just watching SportsCenter. He was just watching ESPN, and all of a sudden disc golf came on, and it was us. And he's one of our good friends that hasn't played in a few months.
Well, do you want to swing in for a second? Say hi.
We got Brett.
Brett Hansen Beggg.
Yes, we do. Brett,
Come on, Brett.
we're going to move over for you.
I'm going to scoot over. We, as many of our Smashbox people remember, for a couple months, we were talking about your GoFundMe
and your chair.
And your chair. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah.
So, my chair was a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
And I had 92 days to raise the money, but I ended up coming short, so I kept in the rest of my trust fund.
So you are going to get the chair.
I have it.
You have it. You have it at home. That's fantastic. So, will you talk a little bit about how that chair is going to help you out specifically? My name is John. Sorry.
Yes, this is Johnny V.
Yeah, this is John. This is Terry.
How you doing, buddy?
Yep.
It's been a while. How you doing? For those that don't know, Brett Hansen Beggg and his dad, Alan Hansen Beggg, are from the Minnesota Twin Cities area. So go on. You were saying that your chair, how's it going to help you out?
So, my chair can sit and has tracks like a bobcat.
Oh,
so
like
it
a bobcat.
Yeah, it has tracks like a bobcat. So now you're going to be able to play all the courses in Minnesota, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And
Okay, sit to stand motions, right? And now you were doing, also I think I ordered some greeting cards. You're an artist, and you were selling some of those to help fundraise. How's that been going? And if somebody wanted to buy some greeting cards or paintings from you, how would they do that?
Through Facebook messaging my mom, Greta Hansen Beggg, and Brett HB8@gmail.com.
Okay.
So if you just send me an email, I'll most likely get back to you.
Awesome. All right, and that's Greta Hansen Beggg. I've known Brett and Alan and Greta and the whole family from disc golfing in Minnesota for many, many years. That's Greta Hansen Beggg. You can reach out to her on Facebook. Also send Brett here an email, or if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to me and I can help out as well.
And I've got a Facebook page, Brett's Design.
Yes, Brett's Designs?
Brett's Designs.
Yes, awesome. All right, pal. Did you have a good week down here? We're going to let you get back to the party, but did you have a good week down here at the Glass Blow?
Yeah, I took third place.
You took third place?
In the tournament and won myself a new bag.
Wow.
In case you missed it, that was Paul McBeth that just tapped you on the shoulder and waved as he was going by with his wonderful girlfriend. So not a lot of people get that. So, but I think he's in a hurry.
Pretty cool. You got to see a lot of the sport's best players. How was that this week?
It was actually pretty entertaining.
They're pretty good, and they can entertain. I hear you. All right, are you heading back to Minnesota? Are you going north next week? Or I'm sorry, tomorrow? Are you guys heading back home?
I'm coming home tomorrow.
All right.
So make sure to check this podcast.
All right. He says he's going home tomorrow, so you can check out the podcast. And again, we've been supporting Brett's efforts in trying to get a new power chair, but also if you want to get some of his designs and the greeting card he's done, you can check out Brett's Designs on Facebook. And again, as another guy from the Midwest, Johnny V and I, we support everything that Brett's been doing, and it's good to see you again, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Thank you very much. You want to say one last thing? Go ahead.
Nice talking to you too.
No, thank you. Yeah,
all right,
you very
thanks,
much.
buddy. Travel safely. Take care. And as I said before, Alan Hansen, Beggg, some of the nicest people in all of our disc golf community, along with Brett here, who's joined us. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about to close out the show?
I don't know if there is. I think we can probably we can talk. We're going to do this again in like 3 days.
Yeah, we'll do it again on Tuesday night, more than likely.
Yeah.
So if there's anything somehow that we skipped or have missed, we certainly can. We can certainly catch up on Tuesday night regarding anything else.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about the Sports Center before?
Sports Center. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm almost at a loss for words and I talk a lot, but
so we said about the sport itself, little steps.
Yes.
How did you feel personally? I know how I felt personally. When we were there, it was super exciting. At first we weren't sure. We're filming from 10, then 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm getting more and more nervous thinking, well, it might not show up. We had inside information that it might be 2, so I wasn't completely giving up hope.
Sure.
But there was still a little part of me that wasn't sure, and then finally when they announced it, like I literally lost my breath. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I know when they were counting down, and again, we had an indication that it might be on there. For some reason, I took that a step further, and I was counting on it being on there. And they were counting down, like you said, 10, 9, and they're going, and everybody kept kind of moaning, like, oh no, that's not it. And I just kept saying, no, that means we're up further, is what I kept yelling. And then sure enough, it got all the way down, and then it appeared on number 2. And, Nate Dawson and I, many years ago, or not many, 2 years ago, we were climbing up a mountain in Norway together along with Valerie and Avery, and we were talking about validation about the work, about the things that's going on in our sport, about what I was doing as a video blog guy and kind of a media guy, and then just where we're at in this sport. And Nate, again, being a sportsman himself and a sports enthusiast. So to say that Nate was, eventually on Sports Center, and then for the work that you and I have done, you behind the controls, me, calling the shots, and then Jason, for the 3 of us just to be involved in that moment, it's validating. That's the best possible word that I can use.
That's exactly the word that I used earlier.
It validates so much time and energy and effort, and it's not a pinnacle by any means.
No.
But it does validate what we're doing and what can be done.
Yep.
And we got to, of course, thanks to Glassbone for even the opportunity to be here.
For sure.
And thanks for Billy for acing on in front of
camera.
us.
Thanks for Jason for getting the perfect shot.
Yeah. So it was all of those different things that made it so amazing to us.
I think this is mine now.
Yeah, I would say so. Women's, again, we talked about this earlier. Paige would beat you.
I know. I have a better chance of winning this one than I do Open, and even this one is out of my reach.
Yeah, it is certainly out of your reach. So it was just awesome.
It was phenomenal. It felt great. It felt validating. I'm hoping it's a stepping stone. To have our name out there. It was on the clip, SmashBoxxTV. I was excited. I don't know. It was the peak of the weekend for sure.
Yep.
Regardless of the golf and how well or bad it went, there was nothing more that I think could have topped that.
No, it really was. It was a celebration of sorts for everyone, and for the sport of disc golf, for the Glassbone Open and Dynamic Disc, for the PDGA. There was a lot of moving parts to it, and everybody should. I think everybody should be celebrating. There is not a single negative to an ace, and there's not a single negative to an ace on Sports Center.
Correct.
There's just absolutely no drawbacks to any of that whatsoever. So, it's pretty cool. So,
on that note, we've discussed a lot. Let's save some stuff for Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to save. I'm not even sure if we'll do one on Tuesday, but if we do, I want to. I always like doing these. These are a lot of fun. It gives me a chance to talk to one of my best friends. But for that point, let's close out the show so we can go check out some of the other things that are going on.
I hear other things.
There's a Ring of Fire going on right now, but I don't think they've started the putting contest yet. Okay. So, which means we'll get some filming. Maybe we'll cut something together and put it up on the Disc Golf Guy or SmashBoxx. Sure. So, let's finish this off and go celebrate.
Yes, we can absolutely do that. I need some good fresh water. That's what I'll be maybe drinking.
Yes.
Water.
Some Emporium
I need a few shots of water is what I need, or something like that. Anyway, so for Johnny Vive, who is obviously at the controls, doing a phenomenal job this entire weekend, cutting the show together, covering up or trying to cover up any mistakes. I can't say he mutes me when I say stupid things. That he doesn't have a filter for.
I wish.
You need a filter like, oh, Terry's going to say something dumb.
I need a delay before the delay.
Yeah, delay before the delay. So for Johnny V back at the controls, for Jason Youngblood, who did the phenomenal job of capturing not just the ace, but footage for us the entire weekend, working on a disc golf budget so that we could help be here and be present at the Glassblown Open. Dynamic Disc and the entire Trilogy family, for the PDGA, who also helped support us.
Bobby Brown for doing a lot of the graphics all week.
Getting us some of those assets as we call them, and so many of those things. For everyone out there, for the staff and the amount of people that helped make this happen, whether they were in a black Dynamic Disc shirt for the week volunteering, or I believe it was Rusco's dad who was giving us a ride on a gator after the tournament, just so we wouldn't have to walk even a few hundred extra feet after the long weekend. Just everything's been phenomenal down here. Thank you to all of Emporia, Kansas, for welcoming not just SmashBoxx, but as well as more than 1,000 disc golf related people to this town and the city for the week. I don't know. And then all of our amazing guests. I can't even name every one of them. But when you have multiple world champions, multiple world champions sitting in and supporting our show, that means so much to all of us. And we got to get out and enjoy it. So,
wait, real quick. Thanks.
Thanks,
Bobby Brown. We just got finished thanking you.
We were just going to close out the whole week.
We were going to close out the week right now. So, real quick, a couple seconds, last thoughts.
Sure.
Last thoughts.
It has been an amazing Glassblown Open. I thought last year's was amazing. This has topped it. Having you guys here has elevated the whole Glassblown Open experience. I mean, it was just amazing. Working together, you guys did an outstanding job. I've always been a supporter of Terry, of the whole media and disc golf, but to have you guys here, part of this, it was awesome.
All right.
I mean, just totally
awesome. Real quick, there's a big push to get Worlds here next year. No surprise.
I mean, we got to go big there.
So is there going to be a Glassblown and a Worlds?
If Pro Worlds came here, would they still do Glassblown?
Or would they skip a year?
Some events kind of skip their major event.
I don't know that we'll be an NT.
Okay.
We might still be an A tier, but not an NT.
Okay.
Oh,
somebody just wipe out.
Yeah, he just ran into he almost clotheslined himself. Classic.
That's what they do.
Anyway, so thanks everybody for watching, and thanks SmashBoxx for coming out. Hopefully we can do things like this more and more.
Absolutely, and they can also check out Bobby and Eric McCabe on the Disc Golf Answer Man, as well as DynamicDisc.tv and all of your Dynamic Disc TV episodes that you're putting up. You guys just keep putting out all of those, all of that footage and all those amazing media assets and components. So thank you, buddy. All right,
thanks, guys.
Take care.
Thanks, Bobby.
There you go. Perfect way to close the show. Again, Jason, Johnny V, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. Thanks for tuning in this entire week. We look forward to you guys when we get back in Wisconsin, when you step inside the SmashBoxx.